that backwards. Okay. Which, I'm gonna share my screen with you so you can see what I'm doing on OBS.
Alright, cool.
And the link is... Whoops. That's to the post in my Discord. There we go.
Okay. Alright, we'll see how well the stream holds up because with all the quarantining stuff, my internet's been spotty.
And I know how that is.
I'm gonna go get some more water and coffee.
Alright. Alright.
Alright, and I'm back.
Alright, welcome back. So, huh?
So, go on.
So what I'm doing tonight is taking this pickup and taking its two coils and splitting it into independent coils, which can be joined together or parted with a switch.
Okay.
Now, this doesn't look great because I messed up the spacing, but on this, see, I was supposed to have this as the top pickup coil and then make a hole for it down, but I was like, well, this is going to be the center because that's where the hole's going to be, but the wood's right there.
Alright.
But this is a Squire, so I'm not too banged up about it.
yeah, yeah.
And I have
Uh,
five switches in place.
yeah, when my brother bought his new guitar, he handed me down some just shitty Squire that I tried to use to learn for a little bit, but it was so heavy that it was uncomfortable to use.
Yeah, that can be a problem. This one's pretty good actually. I think it's basswood. But what the controls are these three are to turn on and off the pickups.
Okay.
This one is to coil split the neck, and this one is to coil split the bridge. And the bridge is what I'm working on today.
Yeah. I think the one I had only had the dials on it, didn't have any switches.
Yeah, and if it has more than one pickup, it'll have a 3 or 5 way selector switch. That one that's what that originally had, and I felt that it was limiting, so I switched it out. But basically, what you do with this, I've already done it on these, is there's 2 solder joints on the bottom.
Alright.
And you split them, then you just pull it off. It's not easy to pull off. So this is mostly for decoration, but I found it does kind of attenuate highs. So it makes it a little less, or it makes it a little darker sounding. Hey Chargrin.
Interesting.
I already got him in the chat.
Yeah, most of what I know about guitars comes from my brother in the sea. I think the most advanced thing he had was he had distortion pedals, and those were also hooked up to some other thing that I don't remember.
And a lot of places will tell you to be careful with this tape. It doesn't fucking matter. Now this tape you got to be careful with, because that stuff's the stuff that's keeping the copper wire on the coil itself.
Alright.
Basically what we're doing is this red wire is what's joining the coils.
Yeah.
This far wire here goes to a it goes to this black sleeve here, and this black wire goes to both the plate on the bottom and this mesh this mesh piece for ground. If you're squeamish about delicate things being messed up,
Not really.
I won't say to look away, but you know.
Yeah.
And messed up's kind of a rough word. More like handled.
Yeah. No, I don't really get squeamish about that. I get more. I get more squeamish about like when people take something that's like $1,000 and they just like carelessly handle it. They're like, yeah, here's this really expensive part. Let me just hold it with 2 fingers. Oh no.
Okay, let's get the focus going. There.
Let's see. Oh god, don't tell me this is real.
What?
So I got another stream up where a guy's going through half of Alex data mine, sounding like he might actually say that Ricochet 2 is real, which I think that'd be hilarious.
What's Ricochet?
Ricochet is probably the only Valve game that people don't know about.
That's not long enough.
Like it's kind of hard to describe what Ricochet is, other than like it's kind of like Tron in Quake, sort of. That is the best way I can possibly describe it. Let's see.
Alright, so these are the 4 colors I'm going to need. White, red, green, and black. And that's just to keep it simple.
So, forgive me if you've said this already, but what will you get out of changing out these pickups?
Well, changing the pickup itself, the company who made these, even though these are like $40, uses better wire to wind them. Because the original pickup in this guitar was this.
Mm.
It's basically identical. Just this is meant for a PAF cover. What they do to save costs is instead of using pure copper, they'll use like an alloy with like tin or something, make it almost a brass.
Right, and then they'll just put copper on top of that, right, like a thin layer.
Well, it's a mix of copper and tin.
Oh,
that's what. Yeah.
Oh, so it's not even like copper plating; it's actually just some like weird, gross mix of stuff.
Yeah.
See, now that's gross.
It gets the job done, but it arguably doesn't sound as good. I'm more of the mind that it's how they wind it. But also with it this thin, because this is like 42 gauge wire. So it could be like some resistance property. It's like,
but will the pickup like affect the sound when it's done, or?
Yes. So like this is the wire that you would use in this pickup.
All right.
It's very fine. I think it's it's like 26 thousandths of an inch. And and this is like pure copper with enamel on it.
Yeah.
And the enamel's important. Otherwise, it would just go straight to the output, and you'd get nothing.
Huh.
Joe, I've yet to measure that pickup. I'm curious what the resistance is, or the impedance rather. Do you know the difference between AC or between impedance and resistance?
No.
AC versus DC.
No.
So if it's AC, it's impedance. If it's DC, it's resistance.
All right. And that's like an electrical thing, right?
Yep. It's a general electrical thing. So this pickup, wow, this pickup is fairly hot. It's 9.7 And this pickup is 8.6. Yeah, 8.6. So this pickup is actually hotter than this one.
Huh. Wait, do pickups actually like noticeably gain heat when you play, or?
No, that's just that's one of those jargon terms for
I see.
for guitars where if it's hot, it means it's a higher output.
Okay.
So like this is technically vintage wound, which is why it's 8.6. Hot wound is like the 10-14K range. In fact, the pickup I have in the SG, these are meant for. It's a 14K. I'm curious what it sounds like without the cover though, because this neck pickup was muddy as fuck when I put it in originally, but when I put it in this, I couldn't fit the cap in there, and it sounds great. I don't know if it's just the different scale, if it's it can't be the wood because these things are fucking wax potted. Could be the strings. Well, no, I used to have 9s on that one. It could be a whole number of things. It could even be that I have it at a better height. So like it was a good pickup no matter what. It's better set up in this guitar.
So with this modification, are you trying to get a specific sound out of the guitar, or are you just trying to get better sound?
A specific sound. Well, and better, because I love this pickup. It just wasn't quite what I was looking for with the style I play. But without the cap, it might actually be better. So, this is part of the squeamish thing because it's soldered on there.
Mm-hmm.
But the heating it up won't do anything because this entire thing is nickel. It's just a big nickel plate, so it's a giant heat sink. So like if you look at the cap, the sides are all fucked up because I had to like put the screwdriver in there and then pop it while I was heating it.
So to get it off, you have to heat it first.
You can if you have one that can pump out a lot more heat than this one, you can, but not for me.
I see. So I assume that all this work means you play guitar, right?
Yes, I've been playing for 20 years.
Okay, and like what kind of like music do you play with it?
If you name a band, I've probably thought about playing their song.
The Proto Men.
Never heard of them, but maybe.
Alright, let's see. Other bands I know. Trapped.
Trapped can get fucked. Specifically the lead singer, he's an asshole.
Yeah, well, that happens with a lot of bands I notice.
But this guy is like particularly bad.
Let's see. What other... See, it would be a lot easier for me to find like my bands, but my fucking external hard drive died, and that was the hard drive that had all my music files on it. So let's see. Do you know about Pliny?
Nope.
Okay, so Pliny is a prog rock guy who does really, at least it sounds like it's complicated stuff.
If it's prog, I'm interested.
Yeah. Uh, Let me just.
I've been playing a lot of Tool recently.
Let's see. Let's see. Is this it? Yeah. So my. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. So I will drop that in the Discord, and you can give that a listen to sometime. This is my favorite song from Pliny, and yeah, he's a big prog rock guy. I believe he also uses a really specific kind of guitar for it.
Yeah, prog guys are really particular about their instruments. I'd really like to learn how to play some stuff from Animals as Leaders, but I can't play it. Mostly because they have 8 strings and I have a 7 string.
Yeah, I think Pliny's stuff from these pictures I see here. I think he plays an 8 string.
I'd really like a 9 string, but good luck finding one of them for under $1,000 right now. Oh god, I just had the thought of like beginner guitars with 9 strings in the future. I'm gonna put this back up top.
Okay, so I'm watching this thing with about the Alex data mine, and as someone who's in school for game development, I just have to wonder like, why do they leave stuff in the game files like this?
Eh.
Like they're apparently partially or possibly even completely complete Half-Life 3 maps in the files. And it's like what makes someone not like remove that?
Well, the answer is pretty much what I just said. Eh. Also, because if they leave Easter eggs like that, people go like, "Oh, this isn't Half-Life 3. It's still coming." What'd be a trip is if they made it for the new consoles coming out too.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they would. All their stuff is. I can't say all, but most of it's been to consoles.
Isn't CS:GO also on consoles?
Yeah, CS:GO was on the 360 and PS3.
Never got ported to newer ones.
I don't know.
I mean, honestly, probably not even worth it. Everybody plays on PC.
Yeah, I think they didn't port it to the newer stuff because it can be run on like a Walmart laptop.
Yeah. So again, eh.
Yeah. Well, what's really weird is I believe there exists and like is an actual product. Let me look. Make sure. Half-Life 2 on the original Xbox. Yeah. Yeah. Half-Life 2 was released on the original Xbox, which and they do a lot of stuff like that. Like the first Half-Life was on the Dreamcast.
That's probably the only console that could have run it though, at that time.
Yeah. And there's also a port of the first Half-Life for the PS2. And it's just like who made these ports?
Ask Valve and they go, what ports? I mean, at least they just pretend they don't exist instead of like Diablo Hellfire, where they're like, no, Sierra didn't do it right.
Mm-hmm.
Because the expansion for Diablo 1 Hellfire, I thought was a great addition, and Blizzard was like, no, that's not what we would have done.
Yeah, it's really interesting that during that sixth generation of game consoles, there's a lot of like console exclusive stuff like based off of PC games.
You know the funniest thing about the Diablo Hellfire thing?
No, tell me.
A lot of the decisions made, like for quality of life, for instance, a sprint button, that was added later in 2.
Amazing. But yeah, like sixth gen had a lot of weird like console exclusive versions of PC games. Like people know about the Far Cry series, but what they don't know
Far
is
Cry
that there
1
was
was on Xbox.
See, that's the thing is that Far Cry on the original Xbox was a spin-off because they couldn't get the actual Far Cry to run on an Xbox. So they
Yep.
made a thing called Far Cry Instincts, and that was wild and
Wasn't
a lot of fun.
wasn't there something similar for Crysis?
Uh,
Because I know they put out Warhead, but I think that's just from Psycho's perspective.
I want to say that Warhead was a 360 exclusive when it first came out.
Yeah, it did come to PC because I have it.
Yeah, but I believe Warhead started on the Xbox.
Yeah. So you know it's nice to add to a guitar?
What's nice to add to a guitar?
Fire.
Fire?
You'll see.
What, are you actually gonna combust something?
No. This is heat shrink.
Okay.
So I use a lighter a friend gave me that lights up.
Oh, that's fancy.
I wouldn't call it fancy. I'd call it unnecessary.
The most interesting thing that's ever happened to me in regards to lighters is one time I was just at a Walgreens because I had a scented candle in my room, but I had no lighter or matches. So I was just like, just give me a lighter. And then so she gave me one of the kinds where you can adjust the height of the flame.
You can do that in this one too, with that stuff on the bottom there.
Cool. But yeah, where it gets funny is that I was hanging out with my friends one time. They wanted me to light something. I forget if it was like a firework or candles or something. And everyone got super weirded out because like, do you do meth? And it's like, what? They're like, you know that people that do meth use those kinds of lighters. I'm like, okay.
Mm.
So, so for a brief moment, my friends thought I was doing hard drugs.
Drugs. I do hardcore drugs. Cool, you can help pay the mortgage. Now, do you know what the coil split will do?
No, I don't really know much about the mechanical pieces of guitars.
It'll take the humbucker and deactivate the slug side. So just the screw side will be uh, put through, so it'll sound like a single coil. And this has a little filament in there, so the flame is green.
Huh.
I don't remember what chemical it is, but one of my other friends saw it. Thought it was cool. Alright. So from here, this middle coil, like this middle piece, has to be cut and soldered to these pieces. So it is not the way they describe on this picture, but whatever. It doesn't actually matter. Because both these are getting soldered to the same lug, and then the other side is getting soldered to ground. So when you flip it, it'll just put them to ground. The worst part of this is like I'm gonna have to detune that entire guitar, take the strings off, and then pull the pick guard off to put this in there.
And that's back, please. Good. have to move my big ass fucking drawing monitor. Is that...
Do you draw really good on your Cintiq?
Yeah. Yeah, I draw really good on my Cintiq. And then there you have it. It's a girl with a penis.
Someone asked if I could draw a girl without penis, but then you just have girl with balls. It's funnier when people don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised because it's like, wow,
It's a poll.
yeah, that's like almost like an inside joke.
Well, do you know Pika-Petey?
Pika-Petey, no.
Because I watched. It's Peter Casey is his real name. I would watch his stream all the time when he used to stream, and just he would have like nightly memes, and one of them, well not nightly, but that one he watched regularly with us. Just draw really good on your Cintiq. I draw really fucking good on my Cintiq, and then you go, you have girl with penis.
The funny thing is that I've actually watched Shadman stream, and like as a person to like listen to talk, he has a lot of interesting things to say. Like it's kind of weird that he has a lot of deep insights on life, which from what I gather comes from a lot of his time in the Swiss military.
His name's unfortunate because it makes me think of Shadbase.
Shadman does run Shadbase.
Oh.
Yeah, like he draws really weird stuff, but like as a person, like he is just he has a lot of fascinating things he talks about.
But I say that because like I know the controversy.
Yeah. Well, I feel like at this point, Shadman just existing is a controversy.
True. Shadman posted something. Shadman has opinion. Yeah.
Oh no. How could this be? Someone has an opinion. God, what a monster.
Which did he stop doing that stuff finally?
Which stuff?
CP?
You know,
because that was the main problem.
I want to say no, because the last thing I remember is like all those meme drawings he made. Alright, let's see. Alright, so do you know about Binding of Isaac?
Some, yeah.
Alright, do you know the developer made like a Tetris Attack style game out of Binding of Isaac?
Nope.
Yeah, it's called Legend of Bumbo.
Mm.
And it's really interesting because like it's
you know
like
what? I did hear about that. I just never watched it played.
Yeah, I think it's really cool because it is a match 4 game, but then it also has like matching 4 like gives you like they call it mana that you can use to do spells and stuff, and it's wild, but it really gives me that nice like puzzle game itch scratch. 'Cause, man, people don't make enough puzzle games anymore. Let's see. Let's
I
do
want,
this.
I want to get Tetris Effect. Tetris Effect is the only VR game I have interest in, and I don't even want it for the VR.
Yeah.
I just want a good modern Tetris game.
Does Tetris 99 not do it for you?
I don't own a Switch.
Is it only on the Switch?
Yep.
Huh. I thought that was one of those things that's on a phone. But
Yeah, I'm not getting any current gen consoles.
I mean, that's fair.
Because if I get anything, I'm going to get a PS5. But even then, it's like all the games that I actually care about are probably going to come with the PC anyway.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm basically just waiting until Bloodborne is announced for PC.
Yeah, because there's. I forget what it was, but I saw an article, and the headline was just that something about God of War could come to PC. It's just like, wow.
Yeah, it's no longer listed as PlayStation as only on PlayStation on the Australian site.
Right. Which I always find those things funny because you just see like the infinite kvetching about it. And it's like, wow.
My favorite was the game director of Horizon going seriously to that dude that busted up his room.
Yeah. It's like, could you imagine like that being your life?
What, revolving around brands?
It's just like, I'm so upset about video game, I will punch hole in wall.
I mean, I was there at one point, but I was also like 7.
Yeah. Like the most I did was when I was like 8 years old, I got mad and I fucked up my GameCube's laser by throwing my controller at it.
The most I did was throw my controller into the couch. Because I was mad, but I didn't want it broken. Because I know I wasn't going to get another one.
Yeah, probably the smart move.
Alright, have you seen the inside of a Strat before?
Nope.
You're about to. There's not a whole lot to see, really.
Oh, I can do that. Shit.
What?
Nothing. I'm just playing Bumbo and got a bad board, so I can't really do much. Let's see. Fuck.
Whenever you say Bumbo, I think of Buck Bumble.
Huh.
I don't even know if you know that game.
No.
I think it was Dreamcast exclusive. It may have come to the Xbox.
Yeah. See, Dreamcast is one of those things I wish I got into.
There's one game I played for the Dreamcast, like on a Dreamcast, and I want to find it again. I cannot find it for the life of me. The only thing I know about it is at one point you fight a Sphinx, and it says aim for the head. That's all I know about it. I played it once, like Christmas 2000, because my cousin brought it to grandma's.
What I know about the Dreamcast is Power Stone, Crazy Taxi, Seaman, and Skies of Arcadia, because I played the GameCube port of that as a kid, and it was like my favorite game for like a decade.
Ikaruga is pretty good too.
See, I didn't even know that was a game. I didn't even know that was a Dreamcast thing.
Yep, Dreamcast, then came to Xbox, then came to PC. I believe we may have a third person joining us.
Cool.
Yep, because he just ended his stream.
What was he streaming?
Jackbox Party Pack.
I see.
Come on, you piece of shit. Get out of there. Alright, all the strings out of the way. Now to unscrew it. It's weird that this is only like 5 years old, but you can already see that it's completely yellowed here, but under where the cap used to be, it's still white.
Yeah.
It's like, unless the person who owned this originally was a smoker. Because that only happens after like a decade or two.
Yeah, I noticed that some of the like comic books I bought when I was like in the 8th grade. It's like I went home last Christmas and it's like these pages are yellowing. It's like, oh shit. I didn't think things yellowed that fast.
They yellow faster with UV, with UV exposure. Now for the reveal. There it is. Well, looks like it's going to be just me and you tonight. Because the other friend is in Kentucky, and they have sirens going off right now.
Sirens?
Yep, tornado warning.
Oh, I see. See, I lived in the woods when I lived in tornado country, so we didn't get no sirens. It was just, hey, you better be paying attention, otherwise a tornado might just blindside you one day. So when this mod is done, in what ways is it going to sound different than it was before?
It should sound generally better, but but I'll also have the option to switch to single coil. Because with the other pickup, I didn't have the option. What?
I was just watching this guy with the Half-Life stuff, and apparently in the dev stuff, there's a thing for bug reporting, and so he was wondering if using this bug report thing would actually send it to like Valve. And it was I thought it was just kind of funny to see him actually like record a voice clip for that and, and send a bug being like, "Yeah, I'm in all your dev stuff." Ah, what? Ugh. God.
Okay, they're all in.
Nice. Get that back over there. Let's see. Man, that's gotta be painful.
What?
I loaded up Black Mesa and like a year of Black Mesa's development was all put into like the deathmatch crap,
Mm.
and no one's playing it. There's one server with 6 people in, that's it. Like I don't know what they were thinking. It's like, yeah, you know what? We're remaking Half-Life. Let's remake the deathmatch part. It's like, why?
Well, some people liked it.
Yeah, yeah, I know some people do like that. It's weird to me because I looked at it on like the Steam Workshop, and people still make maps for Half-Life 2 deathmatch. Which to me, that's just kind of amazing. Because people talk about like TF2 being dead, but it's like Half-Life 2 deathmatch is really dead, but people are still making maps and playing it. Although what the real bummer is that like the sad state of Left 4 Dead 2 these days. You can't get a vanilla lobby for Left 4 Dead 2 anymore. It's only things have been modded with fucking cringy meme shit in it. It's not a good feeling.
I've never had the inclination to play Left 4 Dead.
That was my favorite thing, and it made me really sad when in 2013 Valve just silently just stopped putting like stuff out for it. 2013 finished up. They finished the campaign that they were working on, and then after that, the only thing that came out was like Linux optimization. Oh yeah, after that, there's just like 4 years of just Linux updates, and it's like, huh. It's just really weird because I don't know what happened that just made Valve be like, yeah, we're just gonna not work on this game anymore.
Probably no sales.
Maybe, but like, it's their only like franchise that they just kind of just like dropped.
Portal.
Uh, Portal was still being used for their VR stuff. They made the lab thing and everything.
It was just a brief demo.
Yeah, but they're still using the IP in some way.
I actually thought Alex was a brief demo until I saw it played.
Yeah, no, that thing is a full video game.
Yeah, then I found out that it was like 15 hours.
Yeah, it's your first run through will be like 8 to 10. And then I did a second one. That one only took like 5 hours.
I need to make sure the switch is still usable. Because these switches burn out quick if you don't solder quick enough.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that because there's just not a lot of like metal there, or what?
Yeah, there's a plastic piece inside that keeps the metal like where it's supposed to be. If you hold down the soldering iron too long, it'll heat that plastic up and melt it.
Yeah, I see.
So alright. Still working. Alright, before I screw it down, I need to do a sound check.
Oh boy. So is this one of those like processes where like putting everything back together at the end is like the hardest part?
Specifically in strats, yes, because you have to fit all the wires into this cavity. Nope, something's wired wrong. Yeah, I figured out what it was.
Yeah, what happened?
I wired the neck pickup to the tone pot, but I never wired that same pickup to the output.
Yeah, I can see where that would be a problem.
The bridge is also the only one that I wired backwards with a reason.
Wait, why do you wire it backwards? Why do you wire it backwards?
Because, well, if I was just doing all of them straight to the volume, I wouldn't. But because going to the tone, I have the center lug as the in, and then I'm gonna split off the outside lug to the tone and the volume.
Alright.
I don't see there being a difference, but in my head there is. Alright, electronics work.
Oh boy.
But the thing is, even though I wired it so that the bridge would be the only one with a tone knob, they're all still going to the tone knob.
Oh, was that supposed to happen or no?
No. But whatever. I'll live with the universal tone knob. Now we're at the tedious part of winding the strings. Okay, so it's all wired up. It's tuned. I'm gonna do a bit of audio routing so you guys can hear it.
Wonderful.
Are you able to hear this?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it loud?
No.
Okay. Well, are you hearing the distortion or just through the mic?
Before I was only hearing through the mic.
Are you hearing with distortion now?
No, it's still just through the mic.
Okay, it'll be on stream then.
Okay. Let's see if I can hear it through the stream.
Okay. So, and I gotta keep flipping back and forth between mic on and off because I have this also wired in through my mic line, so I can hear it. But what's a good song to show? I know some Iron Maiden. So first with the humbucker.
Alright, yeah, the distortion's showing up on the stream.
Alright, and now for same song, but with a single coil, like it's actually played. Same for the neck. You can hear it kind of change. If I want to play Pink Floyd, flip the bridge to single coil, turn on the middle as well. I feel like playing Tool, just drop this down to a drop D. Gotta make sure it's in tune again. And it is not.
There we go.
So, still kind of iffy on the tuning, but these are kind of old strings. But that means this... probably didn't hear it because I had my mic muted, but still kind of a tuning issue because these are old strings, plus I had them untuned and retuned a few times in the last few days. But other than needing new strings, this is probably as done as it's gonna get. I didn't have anything else planned for tonight for the stream. It also took a lot less time than I figured, but I also didn't have to cut out another pickup cavity, so went faster. So I think I'm just going to end it there. Yeah, so thanks for coming out, thanks for watching, and goodbye.